Truthfully, the days that are genuinely the most important in your journey of growth towards becoming a higher, better version of yourself, it's not the days when everything is good. It's most of the times the days when things are not going your way, when things are not good, and how you decide to deal with those days. What is up, everyone? I hope you're doing well. If you don't know me, my name is Ishaan, and welcome to the video. Just a few minutes ago, I was spiraling in my head about how I don't want to record this video, how I want to skip out on my homework things, how I don't want to do this, how I don't want to wash my dishes, etc., because I'm tired, I'm lazy, I've worked so hard this week, blah, 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 blah. All these excuses in my head coming up as to why I shouldn't do the things that I've committed myself to do. And these days are the opportunities. These days are the opportunities where you get to truly employ the discipline that you built by working on yourself to prove to yourself and to prove to your past self and your higher self that you are capable of every single thing that you set out to do. And to an extent, this sounds like, oh, you're supposed to be hustling 24/7, you're not supposed to take rest recovery, blah, blah, blah. Like, no, that's not what this is. I'm a big proponent for rest and recovery. But I also think at the same time that when you've committed to something, for instance, like I've committed to making 2 YouTube videos a week at the bare minimum, then I have to follow, like I'm gonna follow through on it. And of course, no one's gonna say anything if I don't, but I know the internal discomfort I feel, and I would much rather have the pain of telling myself it's okay. Like I have all these thoughts, but I'm still gonna record the video and we can get rest afterwards. Like to some extent, I have this mindset where if things need to get done, they're gonna get done. There's no other alternative, or there shouldn't be any other alternative. And this is just how I think. This is just how I feel, and this is the kind of mindset that has really, truly, genuinely allowed me to excel in high school, excel in college, and now I'm in excel at my past job that was in healthcare tech, and now that I'm in grad school, it allows me to continue to make a very hefty and tremendous amount of progress that I feel so proud and I feel so fulfilled. But it comes at a cost. It comes at the cost of comfort. It comes at the cost of me having to sacrifice some parts of my life to make space for the ones that are truly important to me. It's extremely difficult to make such decisions for your life, but you have to understand that you're the only one who can do that for yourself. No one's gonna come over and help you decide, okay, like you should do this with your life or you should do that. And you know, when I first started my YouTube channel, that was my goal. My goal was to talk to you and have you or push you to do things. When with time I realized that that's not the person I am and that's not the strategy that I want to be employing. These videos are a way for me to express myself and process my thoughts and emotions so that I can become a better version of myself, so that I can continue to tap into my higher version. And I pray and hope that in that process, it helps you to do the same for yourself. But you have to recognize that our journeys are different. Like we're following different things. But what unites us is the things that, I'm sorry, not the things, the mindset and the habits that are truly foundational to any sort of endeavor that you want to go on. And if you want to excel in it. And one of the most important things in this world, I think, is your relationship with yourself. You spend, or ideally, like you'd be in some shape or form in your life, you spend the most amount of time with yourself, whether that be in your childhood, whether that be teenage years, early 20s, 30s, or when you're older. But there are gonna come periods of time in your life where you're gonna have solitude. But for the times when you don't and you have people around you, in order to give your true self, in order to give your best self, like you need to become that version, right? And foundationally, certain mindsets, certain habits are things that help you build to that. And for me, one of those foundational things has been discipline. And you know, it's not like this. Now I'm heading into the two different sides of it, or I mentioned the two different sides where your relationship with yourself is extremely important, right? And then there's the other side of trying to get to a better version of yourself. And these two, of course, are very much interconnected. But in the context of mindset and habits, what I really want to drive for myself is, yes, foundationally, there's certain mindset habits, including discipline, that go into becoming a higher version, but it's so much more than that. It also ties into this importance of your relationship with yourself, because when I'm disciplined, like when I follow through on things that I've committed to, the I'm getting emotional, but the gratitude and the fulfillment I feel internally, just knowing that I'm willing to take the hard steps even when I don't feel like it, like that's the part that's powerful for me. I used to think that I wanted to, like, I needed to build discipline so I could achieve a higher version of myself, and that still holds true. But really, I've come to understand and embrace that discipline goes so much more beyond than that, because that better version of me, like in the past, was just trying to get material things. And with time, like I said, my ideas transcended in a way where I'm looking at discipline that it helps me to be me while being so grateful for everything that I have to offer to myself and to the world. It's, oh man, this is, I'm just reflecting back on my journey of all these different times ever since I moved to the US in 2013, that I had to I had to be disciplined. Like I had to work hard because I didn't there was no other alternative. There was no other choice. And I'm not gonna lie, like to an extent, when my back is against the wall, I work much harder. Like I do. There's no question about it, bro. And I'll be honest, in some ways, I feel like I've gone a little soft sometimes. That I feel that I'm not doing as much as my past self did. When that's not even true, dude. Like I do so much more than my past self now. But sometimes it does feel like I don't. And like yesterday, I was thinking, I'm like, damn, like I need to work harder when my schedule is already packed. I literally don't have time, or I don't have free time to just be like fucking around. And it, it's, I don't even know what to say, dude. It's just an intense period right now, especially with school things, and there's just so much going on. But everyone has a lot going on at all times, and that's why it's important to boil down your core values. It's important to boil down and understand who you are, what do you value the most, and then prioritize things in your life according to those values. Because if you don't prioritize according to your values and what you deem important, you're gonna live a life that's dictated by someone else or someone else's expectations. And if you made it this far into the video, then chances are that you know what internal conflict that creates within you. I know it because there's no way someone who doesn't introspect, someone who doesn't have some sort of internal conversation or conflict, would be making this far into the video of me processing my feelings out. So think about that. You gotta boil down what it is that you value and then prioritize things based off of that. And the reason why I mention this is because I have so many project ideas, so many different things that I want to work on, but I just genuinely don't have the time, and I would have to cut something else to make time for something new. That this idea of understanding what your values are, even if it's different in each phase of your journey in life. And of course, it's bound to change. Priorities should change because you're changing as a person, like you're growing as a person. So I have to also do that work for myself and think about what are the projects that I value the most, and then stick to that. And on that note, YouTube and making these videos is important to me, not just because of the 2 times a week that I committed to, but also because Well, it tells me that I'm disciplined enough to follow through on my things. But even more importantly, I forget how helpful this is for me to talk shit out loud. Like, this helps me process my emotions. This helps me process my thoughts. And in the midst of it, I end up making realizations that I sometimes would not have otherwise, unless I journal for a prolonged period of time, or I'm in a prolonged meditation. But even with everything going on, like, my journaling has been relatively decent. Sometimes, I skip a day or two, maybe three, but naturally, like, actually, that's such a lie. That is such a lie. I journal every day, bro. I forget that when I meant the skipping part, so there's different forms of journaling that I do. I type stuff in my notes app on my phone when it's random things, and then there's my written journal where I usually write out, which is more structured. So that's the structured one was what I was referring to, and I said sometimes I skip a day or two or three even, but even then it's like I'm relatively very consistent with that. But regardless, journaling is happening every day. I swear it's such a natural instinct for me. And sometimes I'm like texting myself on my phone if I have certain thoughts that I'm like, I want to revisit this later. Yeah, look, it'd be like that. It'd be like that. With meditations, every time I go to the gym, almost always, I'm also getting a meditation session in. So 4 to 5 times a week ish. Last week, meditation was probably four, and this week has been two since I've been to the gym twice. But I didn't meditate one of those days, so it's. Oh, again, I lied. I keep forgetting. Meditations also, I have so many different formats. Like, I've been doing a sleep meditation again, where I listen to a guided one right before I'm falling asleep. And I completely forgot about that because usually, over the past few weeks at least, my routine has been to meditate after my workouts. Getting, dude, also the combination of working out, sauna, and meditation, that's a lethal combo for overthinking. If you're ever like in your head a little too much, go lift some weights, bro. Hit the sauna and go meditate. You're gonna feel so much better. You're gonna feel like you're on top of the fucking world. I I don't know. I just think it's such a hack. That is literally a hack that I've discovered for myself, that I'm like, when I'm feeling low, that shit is gonna get me hyped the fuck up. Yeah, no, that's just. Anyways, I've deviated quite a bit, but if there's anything that I want to leave you in this video, it's that consistency has to come as a result of discipline. Consistency is extremely difficult to have if you don't employ discipline on the days that you don't feel like doing your things. And like I said at the beginning, those are the days that really separate you. Those are the days that bring you closer to your higher, better version of yourself, because you're telling yourself that you're willing to put in the hard work, even when you don't feel like it, even when your body is tired. And this is so powerful. Like, I can't tell you how powerful this is, but you can feel it for yourself. That's a great place to wrap up this video. If you made it this far, I truly appreciate you tuning in. Hope you got something out of it. And, thanks for sticking with me. I'll see you in the next one.